Judge Jacqueline McClinton from the 36th District Court dismissed those cases earlier this week. All in all, a few hundred have been dropped. Only a handful remain. Charges against 20 protesters who took part in demonstrations in Detroit over the summer were thrown out Monday. David Cripps, one of the attorneys representing them, says the city failed to provide due process.
They couldn't articulate which officers made the arrest, couldn't provide us discovery, couldn't provide us body cam footage, and on top of the what we saw to be the constitutional violations of arresting those who were just protesting.
You know, it's a fight that has to be fought. So we're going to continue to work with our lawyers to make sure that, justice is served and the charges are dropped as they should be.
Jordan Weber is one of the leaders of Detroit Will Breathe, which led the protest. The court dismissed her misdemeanor charges of disorderly conduct and pedestrian impeding traffic last week.
It's been, hanging over my head. I am like, it's going to be, following me for a long time. So I was really glad that they were dismissed. We decided to go to all of us collectively to, fight this together. And I'm glad we did.
Scores of demonstrators were arrested and or cited during the summer of protests sparked by the killing of George Floyd. More than 300 cases have been dismissed. Detroit's law department voluntarily dropped most of those cases. Only a few remain.
The city law department has targeted a small group, which you might consider be leaders of organizational leaders.
Detroit Corporation Counsel Lawrence Garcia says the law department is, quote, still pursuing those cases that we think warrant pursuing based on the circumstances of the individual cases. The National Lawyers Guild offered free legal representation to protesters.
For the most part, everyone I've come into contact with and listened to are very conscientious young people who saw the dangers of excessive police force and the unwarranted brutality used upon African Americans in our society in arrests. These people step forward, even in danger to themselves, to speak their conscience.
All right, now you guys may remember that Detroit Will Breathe filed a federal lawsuit against the city of Detroit back in August. Well, recently, Detroit City Council, at the request of the mayor, voted to add some additional funding to fight that lawsuit against the city. That defense includes a counterclaim against Detroit Will Breathe, seeking damages and attorney fees. That counterclaim still pending in federal court. Huel, Monica.
Well, Randy, aside from the remaining cases here in Detroit, are any of those protesters facing charges in any other cities?
Yeah, nearly a dozen of them facing charges up in Shelby Township after Detroit Will Breathe held a rally and a protest there in late March. 5 of them facing felony charges. 6 were charged in late January for that rally, for that protest back in October. They are facing misdemeanor charges. Again, those charges just authorized in late January.
All right. Thanks for that live report, Randy.